I've got Caddo deputies, I've got Bossier deputies, I've got boats, we've got amphibious vehicles here, and we're told a family of 5 trapped about 7 miles in that direction. I can only describe this as a mess. This was a scoreboard. How do you plan on winning over votes from people who typically vote Republican?
Well, I did it 4 years ago, and now we've got a record of accomplishment.
Well, that verdict is guilty as charged. Grover Cannon charged with first-degree murder in the 2015 death of Shreveport police officer Thomas LaValle. As it looks more likely that there will be a runoff election, who would you rather the governor face?
Yeah, I'd rather face Eddie Risponi.
Because this event is about the people who served us, those who are still here, and those who cannot be here today. That's what this event's all about. Snapchat is an app that lets users send photos and videos that disappear after they're viewed. But snaps of these documents, stolen from a Sabine Parish Sheriff's deputy's patrol vehicle, have triggered a litany of problems that aren't going away anytime soon. As you can see here at the moment, we are really in the worst of the storm right now as I'm holding on to my hat. We've spent 7 days learning about the facts of the crime that took place, the murder of Officer Thomas LaValle. Now this is the part where we learn about the people involved. Jefferson, Lafayette, St. Tammany, Livingston, and Ascension all saw increases in enrollments in 2014. The only other large parish that lost students was East Baton Rouge, though not nearly as many as Caddo. And while a lot of people would pay a premium for waterfront property,
all right, this is the shallowest one right here.
It would be McCain's worst nightmare.
This is mine till right here at this corner.
In fact, he acquired the 3/4 acre parcel of land behind his house to keep the water away. Water that belongs to 2 neighboring construction companies.
Oh, my wife. Oh.
Okay, can you tell what she did to herself?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, she's bloody all over. Oh, she's done y'all need to rig my mortgage or whatever. I can't even turn her over.
On February the 19th, 2011, I got a phone call that my mom was dead. My father called me. As soon as he called me, I knew the way he was talking that he had killed my mom.
To say the least, it's not easy to say your father killed your mother. But to Denissa Morgan, the case against her dad is overwhelming. Take a look at this. This was supposed to be the site of senior night this weekend. Everybody here very confident that's not going to happen. Here's why. The bleachers gone, the field littered. Look at that scoreboard. That's not a scoreboard anymore, but I want to show you around what's going on here. There is debris everywhere if Josh Hale wants to follow me this way. Now, if you look into this field, there are student volunteers. Folks like this have been out all day long. Nobody asked them to do this. They just came to pick up all of the pieces here. Now, there is damage everywhere in this section of campus, but the athletic department, even though it sustained what could be millions of dollars in damage, everybody's just happy that no one was seriously hurt on this campus.
It sounded like a freight train, like it was crazy. And I was like really scared, I didn't know what it was. Just nothing but wind and gray. So we decided to just go to our bathroom and stay in there until it passed.
And once it passed, this is what the storm left behind. Toppled power lines, downed trees, athletic fields in shambles, debris everywhere.
Pretty emotional. You know, we work every day to try to make this a special place, and then you see it get torn apart. It's pretty dramatic.
For that, Louisiana Tech President Les Geis says he'll offer counseling to anyone who needs it. He's not sure how many students living on or off campus will need a new place to stay, but he's ready to offer help there too.
We're reaching out to them and saying, if you need a place, you know, we've got some additional capacity on the core of our campus, in the core of our campus.
But it's the athletic department that really has its work cut out.
Baseball, softball, soccer, tennis, all of those, you know, are devastated.
But the athletic director will gladly plan home games elsewhere in Ruston for now, knowing things could have been a lot worse.
When you see the path of this storm and realize that it took out the baseball wall, and 40 feet next is a dorm in which, other than maybe some windows breaking out or awnings gone, there was not total destruction, and it could have been that way. It could have been a far more worse deal.
All right, I just want to show you more damage. Several cars in this parking lot between the baseball field and the softball field damaged. Here's one with blue tarps on the window. Here's another. Dr. Geis says he is going to have insurance counselors come out here to campus because A lot of these students probably have never had to deal with filing a claim of this magnitude before. Now, meanwhile, a lot of power was out on campus today. Not all of it, however, because La Tech actually generates a lot of its own energy, only gets some from the city. Still not enough to have classes. Classes were canceled today. They will be canceled again tomorrow. Live in Ruston this evening, Jamie Ostroff, KTBS 3 News. I just want to tell you how proud I am of you and how far you came. Believe it or not, you have climbed some tough hills and battles over the years. I will always support you. That's part of a text message Travion Anderson sent to his girlfriend, Shateri Payne, 6 days before she died.
A young officer in the prime of her life was killed in a senseless act of violence.
Payne, who had just graduated from the academy, was leaving to start her night shift with the Shreveport Police Department January 9th. She was shot in the head in her driveway.
173. Are y'all putting out that Travion Anderson is a suspect?
That's 10-4.
Okay, I have him detained in a patrol car at this time.
We believe Anderson shot and killed her and concocted the false narrative of her being murdered by an unknown suspect.
His cousin, Lawrence Pierre II, and a friend, Glenn Frierson, are accused of helping him hide the gun. Prosecutors are now building their case against Anderson, the man who they say pulled the trigger. It's a big one. And we went through it all. Hundreds of pages revealing text messages, Google searches, and interviews that tell the story of a planned-out murder of a woman trying to escape an abusive relationship. Investigators interviewed Payne's mother and grandmother, who was on the phone with Payne when she died, with the line on mute. Both women said Anderson treated Payne poorly, breaking her police radio and accusing her of cheating in the weeks leading up to her death. They said Payne had found a new apartment, put down a deposit, and was supposed to pick up the key on January 15th. But according to Payne's grandmother, Anderson had other plans. She said Payne told her in December that Anderson said he would kill her first before she left. Investigators also got a warrant to go through Anderson's phone. What they found revealed to prosecutors a deadly plan in the works. Deleted Google searches included, but were not limited to, shooting insurance, does Aflac pay for gunshots, accident insurance, gunshot wound to arm, gunshot wound to leg, and can you die from a gunshot to leg. Affidavits also reveal a series of text messages between Anderson and Pierre exchanged before Payne was killed. January 8th, Pierre texts Anderson, "Let's knock it out tomorrow." January 9th, Anderson seemingly tracks Payne's every move as she gets ready for work. 7:50 p.m. Bet she putting on clothes. 7:54 p.m. She just about done. 8:14 p.m. Should be coming down. 8:16 p.m. Outside. Officer Shateri Payne was shot at 8:18 p.m.
Yes. Louisiana State Police are trying to figure out who leaked a pile of confidential law enforcement information onto a popular social media app.
KTBS 3's investigative reporter Jamie Ostroff looks into how the information got out and how the leak affects public safety.
Snapchat is an app that lets users send photos and videos that disappear after they're viewed. But snaps of these documents, stolen from a Sabine Parish Sheriff's deputy's patrol vehicle, have triggered a litany of problems that aren't going away anytime soon.
When I say they got Walmart receipts, names, they got intel reports, they got all kind of man.
This Snapchat video shows a man rifling through documents. They were stolen from a Sabine deputy's patrol vehicle in 2018, but they hadn't surfaced until a contentious election season this past October. That is when someone shared a series of Snapchats, which spread through the community like wildfire. The pages contain confidential information, including names and contact information of confidential informants.
That's never information that you want to get out, because just the world of narcotics can be a dangerous world. I mean, there's been previous situations where CI's information has gotten out that you've had people hurt or killed.
Jason Richardson is the DeSoto Parish Sheriff. His office is the lead in a multi-agency narcotics task force, which includes the Sabine Parish Sheriff's Office. The Sabine Parish deputy who left the documents in his car was on that task force.
I think had policy and procedure and protocol been followed, we wouldn't be having a conversation today.
Sabine Sheriff Ronnie Richardson declined an interview for this story, but he did confirm the deputy was fired. He also told 3 Investigates he asked the state police to investigate. Jason Richardson, no relation, tells me at this point the effects of the leak are not widespread. However, some communities are feeling those effects more than others.
It's affecting my children, it's affecting me at church, and it's affecting me to a standpoint in the community.
Zwolle Police Chief Daniel Thomas says he was at the scene of a homicide in early October when he found out not just about the leak, but that his name was part of it. In the deputy's notes, an informant claims Thomas told a drug dealer he'd look the other way if the dealer brought him a woman to perform sexual favors.
The allegations that he's stating on that paper are false.
So not only must the chief work to protect his city,
now the people probably feel like they can't trust law enforcement, and you won't have no informants wanting to help.
He has to protect his reputation.
I want some answers. I mean, I want an apology. I want my name cleared because, like I said, it took me years to build my reputation here. I got a good relationship with my people here. I got a good, outstanding name in this community, and I wanted to stay that way. I can see if I did something wrong, but I haven't done anything wrong.
Unfortunately, those answers are sparse right now. I reached out to Louisiana State Police, the lead on this investigation. All they could tell me was that troopers are reviewing the SPSO's case to see if further action needs to be taken, and if so, in what capacity.
How in the get down like this here, man?
But I did find out investigators don't believe the man in this video is the thief. I reached out to Snap Inc. to see how they help law enforcement agencies investigate crimes. A spokesperson wouldn't address the Sabine case specifically, but she did tell me Snap works with law enforcement agencies around the world. During the first half of 2019, Snap received more than 10,000 requests for information from law enforcement and more than 16,000 requests to help identify Snapchat users. According to company data, they produced information in 80% of those requests. Jamie Ostroff, KTBS 3 News.